Hello, it's Sunday night. It's 8 o'clock GMT. It's 9 o'clock Central European time. And that must mean it is time for ESC Fan TV. Can I get a whoop whoop from the audience, please? They made it. Hey! Welcome to another fantastic show. Tonight, we are going to be going through 3 fantastic entries as they pit themselves on that road to Eurovision success in May. We've got Azerbaijan, we've got North Macedonia, and we've got a little big entry from Russia as well to look through as well. And as always, we are looking forward to your views as well, coming in on the chat room, wherever you may be, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Twitter. We would love to hear from you. And whilst you're there, don't forget, click that like and subscribe button, because then you can keep up to date with all the various ESC Fan TV shows that are coming your way over the coming weeks. Now, without further ado, I think we really should meet the panelists. So, let's start off and go to Andy. Good evening, Andy.
Good evening. Michelle, do you recognise this makeup? I'm never going to get the fucker off. I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. But in the meantime, no.
You know what? I find that hilarious, partly because I know Michelle is in the chat room. So that's going to be great.
Well, get yourself down here, lass, because I need some help afterwards.
Oh, lovely to see. Also joining us as well, it's the fantastic Elliot.
Evening, one and all. Yeah, ready to dissect some more songs in a positive or negative light. I'm sorry in advance.
Hey, also we've got the lovely Alina.
Hello, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on as always. Also joining us from wee Bonnie, Scotland, it's Ian.
Good evening, everybody. Hiya.
And also from north, we go south. Keep going. Yep, keep going. Yep, warmer, warmer, warmer. It's Cyprus. It's Oban. Who's talking, but I can't hear him. But do you know what? That's fine. We'll work on that. And also, we've got my lovely co-host. It's Stuart.
Hey, Tom. Looking forward to tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. It's going to be a lot of fun because, to be fair, we've got 3 countries there that have some interesting songs this year, but also have done reasonably well last year as well. So first up, guys, let's get started. First up, we've got Azerbaijan. Now, Azerbaijan last year came 8th, and that was their best showing since 2013. They've internally selected. It's Efendi. The song's called Cleopatra. But before we look at that song, let's remind ourselves of the songs that Azerbaijan has sent of days gone by.
Always on my mind, always with my friends. I wanna hold you close to me, always all the time. Hold me, if it's only for this moment in time. Now I'm yours and you're mine. Running, I'm scared to lie. Running, I'm still breathing. 'Cause I adore you.
Some classics there. Takes us down memory lane. I'm going to have to go to Andy. Andy, any favourites there of the clips that we showed?
Well, I always loved Running Scared. I loved it even more when I realised it was written by a Brit. And not only that, but it's written by the Brit that's written this year's entry for the United Kingdom. So I love it. All of them all. The others are crap.
Oh, no.
There wasn't a single song in 2013 that I liked.
See, Hold Me is one of my favourites, I think, from
Really?
Azerbaijan. Yeah.
Were you listening with your eyes as usual?
I don't know what you mean. How
No,
very dare
I'm sure you don't.
And even the wildlife agree as well. Stuart, any favourites amongst that for you?
Yeah, I was always a big fan of Our Soul in a Rash. I never know which one was the arsehole, which one was the rash, Tom.
Oh dear. And do you know what? I'm just gonna wrap this up, see if we can get some sound out of Oban. Oban, any favourites from Azerbaijan in years gone by?
Hello, can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you, Oban.
Okay, good. So, good evening, everyone. Finally, I can say this. And favorite, I really love Farid Mamadov on top of that glass ceiling with box, whatever was it, whatever. But for all the obvious reasons, he was my favorite.
Oh, fantastic. Right, guys, we are going to move on because let's face it, the job isn't just to look at Azerbaijani songs of days gone by, but it's actually to look at this year's entry. It's called Cleopatra. It's coming at ya. Let's take a look.
La Cleopatra. La Cleopatra. La Cleopatra.
Ah, delightfully bonkers there. Alina, what is your take on Cleopatra?
I love it. I really, really like it. I think with the right staging, they will do well, like extremely good. So I have to look forward to that.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it'd be interesting. I'm hoping there's going to be lots of pyramids sat there as well. I think that could be quite good. Ian, what's your take on Cleopatra?
I'm not liking this one at all. I'm not going to say very much about it because I don't have very many nice things to say about it, and should probably leave it at that. I just can't get into this one at all. I suspect it might do reasonably well if it's staged well. It's certainly a good bit bounces along, but it's not for me. Really not for me.
Oban, do we think Cleopatra could beat Azerbaijan's 8th placing from last year?
I think they'll do better than last year. I think Azerbaijan and Israel examined 2019 results very well, and they definitely focused on the fact that how much traditional sound that Norway used resonated with most of the European fans or the viewers at home as well.
Okay, interesting.
Stand out.
Yeah.
Did I catch you
It's got a very distinctive sound. It's okay because it's all right. Your sound kind of stuttered ever so slightly, and I was like, I didn't think you were finished, but then I wasn't too sure what was going to happen. We sorted it out. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Stu, let's bring you in on this one then. Azerbaijan.
I'm a big fan of this, actually. Yeah, there's all sorts of rumours that this has been passed around more time than Valentina Moneta when San Marino need a new singer. However, this is a banger, Tom. This is a hashtag banger. And I'm loving the Middle Eastern vibe. I'm loving the words. I'm loving the fact it's Cleopatra was a queen like me, straight or gay or in between. Fantastic lyrics. She really knows her audience, Tom. And this is going to do really, really well at Eurovision. Can I just make a point as well? There are 3 traditional Azerbaijani instruments in the making of this song. And I'm going to butcher the names. So everybody knows I butcher names and butcher words. So I'm going to go. There's one called the oud, which is a traditional guitar-like string instrument, the balaban, which is a wind instrument, and the tar, which is another string instrument. How many Eurovision songs can you say that have 3 traditional musical instruments in the recording of their track? Not one, Tom. This, for me, is a hashtag banger. Good luck, Azerbaijan.
Hey. And I have to say, Stuart, I don't know what the pronunciation of the first one was supposed to be, but I thought the oud was a Doctor Who monster. But, hey,
it probably is. I probably butchered it.
Let's just take a quick segue and just say hello to people in the chat room. We've got Dom, we've got ESC Philippines, we've got John Boy, we've got Michelle, we've got Phil, we've got Anya, we've got Martin, we've got Sean, we've got David, we've got Vincent, we've got Kirito, we've got lots of people there. And it's lovely to see all your comments as well. Michelle quite blatantly says, just Ian is wrong, which is one of her favourite phrases. Meanwhile, Kirito has Azerbaijan in the top 3. has top 3, 1 Georgia, 2 Armenia, and 3 Azerbaijan. Keep commenting because we love to hear from you. Elliot, wrap up this discussion for me. What are our initial thoughts on Azerbaijan?
Very conflicted on first listen about it, to be honest. I mean, musically, it's a bit of a mess. It jumps around a hell of a lot, especially the volume of that final chorus at the end. It goes so much louder than the rest of it. I think she's trying to go for the record of the most Lars in a song off that Spanish woman from about 40 years ago. And technically, the lyrics are wrong saying Cleopatra was a queen because she's technically a goddess. She wasn't a queen, technically. And yeah, I have my worry over this is that very rarely this decade have Azerbaijan sent a song as good live as they did in the studio. Isil, Delaria, etc., etc., they've never sounded as good live. So I'm conflicted about how messy this sounds, how messy this could be staging-wise, and the vocals. If this could fall out, this couldn't qualify. I'm not convinced this will qualify.
No.
It'll be top 10 or it won't be in the final.
No. This is Down International Diva all over again. It could win.
It's more ding dong than diva.
Oh no, it's not. No,
it's a mess. I'm not convinced.
It's a beautiful mess.
We haven't heard her sing it live yet. I want to see her sing it live and how well she can do it live. That's the thing.
But if Dana International can win with a voice like that, anybody can.
You know what? I'm just loving the song off between you two. It's just like throwing out good and bad song titles.
We could do a whole show and just do it in Eurovision song titles.
Oh, but where would be the fun in that? We'd have to be making our mind up all evening. Now, Andy.
And letting our indecision take us from behind.
Oh, yes. Now, Andy. Obviously, realised, big fan of Azerbaijan.
Oh, no, I hate it.
You hate it?
No, I don't. I love it.
Really?
I really like it. I really like it. And the fact that it builds to that massive crescendo at the end. Well, that's great. I really like that as well.
So, in terms of placing, then, are we seeing it as a semi-qualifier? And if
definite
through
qualifier.
to the final,
definite qualifier, possible winner.
Possible winner. So, top 5.
Possible top 5. I've got a lot of songs in my top 5. I haven't made a list yet. It's too early.
I'm sensing an unwillingness to commit here, Andy.
So, if I could just explain briefly, I like to ration myself so that I don't have all the fun straight away. So I haven't heard, for instance, the Swiss song, which I believe is one of the favourites. And I'm going to come to that sometime next week. So I'm not in a position to say where I think that they should come until I've listened to them all. Is that all right?
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you.
You've passed the test. Alina, where do you see Azerbaijan finishing this year?
I don't know. I think top 10. But for me, it depends on the staging. So we will see.
Okay, same question to Open.
Tom, I couldn't disagree any more with Elliot. I think it's not a mess. It's a very well thought out. There was so much effort in this video. I think it's genius what they're trying to do. The way the transitions between the styles that they use is genius. I think it's going to do better than last year. But if I'm going to be precise, I'm going to say number 3 at the end of the voting scene.
Oh, I don't normally ask you to be that specific, but if you're going to do it, someone can write that down. Oben predicts Azerbaijan number 3. Do you know what, Elliot? Let's. I feel like we need to just kind of revisit you in this discussion before I go to Ian and Stuart for their placings. But where would you place this song?
Being brutally honest, if I was in the jury and looking at the semi-final, I wouldn't have it in the top 10. I think it's going to I think it'll narrowly miss out the jury, but qualify in the public. That's why I honestly think. I think it relies too much on its chorus, and it's just a bit of a mess. And even then, the chorus is just la 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 Cleopatra. And something we didn't mention actually, she rolls that R quite heavily. Can she do that? Can she do that live with that much power, or is she going to dodge it?
No, that's easy.
Oh, I think
I'm
so.
not. Again,
It's quite easy.
there are too many elements. I'm not convinced over this song, so I'm gonna mark it as 11th in the semi-final.
Oh, it's harsh.
Cleopatra.
Ian, do you agree? 11th in the semi-final.
That semi is so strong. It's so strong.
It's more or less erect then.
I'm
I'm
not sure it will qualify.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it could be just outside and not get through.
it's a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
Elliot, you found a kindred spirit.
But I think it's because I don't particularly like that style, not liking it. It's whether it plays well with other people. That's the judge done.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it'll be marginal to get through.
Okay. Well, we know Elliot's comments have already taken offence in the chat room. Michelle Harrison, Elliot is no longer my favourite. Oh,
Give it a week, it will be again. It's fine.
only a week. It could be a bit shorter. There's 2 more songs coming up. Stuart, wrap this conversation up for me. Where do you see Azerbaijan finishing in 2020?
So I think they'll comfortably qualify from the second semi-final. No question in my mind they'll get
They're
through.
in the first semi. They're not in the second. They're in the first semi-final against the Mamas, Destiny, Eden. I'm not convinced. Sorry. Back to you.
Thank you for letting me speak. I think they'll definitely qualify from the first semi-final, and not the second semi-final. We've established that. They might qualify from that as well because it's a pretty decent song. However, I think when it comes to the final, I think Azerbaijan will be top 10, and I'm not going to go as far as Oban to commit to a number. But the reason I quite like it, and I was thinking today, I've heard this melody structure before, and if you cast your mind back to 2005, Anna won Helena Paparazou, not her winning song, but the song she released after that was performed at the 2006 Eurovision as an intro, the song Mambo. Does anyone remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah. It's the exact same chord structure. Go and have a little listen to that, and you will see similarities in this song. That said, I actually think Cleopatra's beautifully written, very well pulled together. And regardless of what happened to it during the national final season, it's found its way to Azerbaijan. And Efendi's a very good singer. She came 3rd in the Voice of Azerbaijan. So I think top 10.
Okay. Well, personally, I quite like it. I think it's quite innovative. I like the staging. However, I do think it could falter. I see it scraping through the semi-finals, but then I think it could be pulled back on the night and hover around that top 10 marker. Whether it will break through or not, I'm not quite sure. But guys, it's been wonderful discussing I can't even pronounce it. Azerbaijan with you all, and I think that is Azerbaijan done. Okay, so we move on. The next country on the list this evening, it's North Macedonia, formerly known as the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia as well.
What was it known as former to that?
That's a good question. Go on, Andy.
Yugoslavia.
Oh, was it Yugoslavia? Oh, there we go.
Okay.
I was going to guess Yugoslavia, but I didn't want to show myself up. But
Really? You're on this show.
I'm a history teacher, Andy. I'm supposed to know these things. Now, North Macedonia. Oh my goodness! I hope everyone shed a tear of absolute joy last year when Tamara Tedesca got North Macedonia's best ever showing. Absolutely amazing. I even had the fortune to see her perform in London a few months ago, and she is absolutely spectacular live. They came 7th last year. This year, they're aiming to go one better with Vasil and a song called You. But, as always, just before we go on to looking at this year's entry, let's remind ourselves of some North Macedonian entries from years gone by.
Jaz biram sreća, ti biraš toga, crno I belo esej. Dance with me, na 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 na, sing with me, na 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 na. I wanna be with you, I wanna give it to you. Želim
Oh, amazing.
I want to be with you and I want to give it to you.
What's that?
That was the lyrics. I want to be with you and I want to give it to you. I mean, goodness me.
Oh, to be honest, I was just kind of absorbing myself in Tamara's song and just kind of continuing the lyrics. Oh, anyway, let's move on. Guys, any favourites from North Macedonia in years gone by? Oven, any classics?
The Chernobyl is like the anthemic, that scream we will never forget from Calliope, and Sing With Me Na Na Na. That was very Macedonian, very traditional. That you know that I like to have some cultural orgasm every once in a while. So that played.
That was last night, wasn't it?
Sorry.
I think Andy was just being ever so slightly suggestive about what may have been going on. Now, Ian, any favourite North Macedonian entries of years gone by for you?
It has to be last year's with Tamara and Proud. It was just terrific song and what a performance! Our live performance was just so good. It's yeah, that does it for me.
Okay, and Alina, any favourites of years gone by?
Out of the three, I'm a fan of Proud. I'm sharing Ian's opinion. It was an amazing song, and it stays an amazing song. So
You can go beyond Proud if you wish. if you want, in other words, you don't have to stay beyond. Stay within those three. You can go beyond those three because I'm going to for my favourite North Macedonian song, which I think would not come as any surprise to anyone, because it was cheesy, it was fun, it was catchy, it was extremely 1990s. Does anyone
Get on
got
with
it
it.
yet?
What was it?
2000 XXL.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
that was rubbish.
God.
100% till you jump. I love you 100%. Yes, I do. Oh, absolutely brilliant. And if you've never listened to it before, I suggest you do so. Oh, Rob did
Come
a
on,
great
sing it
placing.
for us. Give us another.
No,
I love you 100.
That can't be your favorite.
Oh, it was. Trust me. I still play it every now and then. Unfortunately, Oban has now gone into hibernation as a result of that. I think I've just scarred the poor boy for life. Never mind.
I've got one.
Stu?
Toze Proeski with the song Life. God rest his soul. What a fantastic song that was back in 2004, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was.
2004.
Yeah, it was. Fantastic song. Life is a book, and you got to read it.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I've got a favourite as well.
Oh, go on, Andy.
Yeah, okay, so she's my favourite North Macedonian singer, but I can't remember her name. However, she appeared twice. 2002, and she had this big red dress that came all out of the place. And then she came back in 2007. She was fantastic. Both of her songs were great. I can't remember what she called.
Odnaz Zabi from 2002.
If you say so.
It was.
2007 was in Helsinki, with the violin,
Yes.
with a green dress.
Yeah, she was so
Also,
fantastic. None of us can remember her name.
Carolina.
Carolina,
Carolina.
that's the one. Yes. No, she was really good.
She was. And do you know what the shame of it was? Odnos Zavisi was supposed to be sung in English, but they submitted the translation too late. I remember that from days gone by. Now, Elliot, since I've asked everyone else, I may as well ask you as well. Favourite Macedonian entry?
You said that so forced. It's like, if I have to, make him included. Go on then. Yeah,
Elliot,
2012 and
family.
2012 definitely stands out for Macedonia, and one that someone hasn't and no one's mentioned is 2015. I loved that performance actually. They did a crap job staging it, but the song Autumn Leaves I really, really like.
Yeah, it was good.
Because I'm going to be honest, I wasn't on the massive hype train with Proud last year. I get why people liked it, but it wasn't for me. But I was more annoyed by her dress because it looked like her bra was showing the entire time. It just had this little black slit there and it looked like her bra was showing.
That's for the
That was the purpose.
heterosexuals.
Yeah, that's not for us. Now,
For me.
yeah, it's more for Stuart. Now,
No, it's for the heterosexuals.
Can I be one, please, Daddy?
No.
guys. Right, you crack me up so much, but I do feel we need to actually move on and get to the actual North Macedonian entry. Let's take a
No,
look
we
at
don't need
this
to get to
year's-
that entry.
Oh yes, we do. Let's have a listen. Vasil and you.
I just wanna dance with you. Tonight I wanna. I just wanna dance with you. You know you wanna. I just wanna dance with you.
Oh, very catchy. Was actually a backing singer for Tamara last year as well. Is really good. Now, Andy, I went to you last time, so I'm going to go to you first this time. Hey,
Oh.
how's that for fairness?
I absolutely love this. At the moment, this is my favourite this year, apart from... No, it's one of my favourites this year. Really, really like it. This type of dance music is right up my street. I just hope they perform it well. And yeah, I think it'll do better than last year. I couldn't believe that last year only came 7th.
Yeah, 7th. It's because the televote wasn't that great, but of course the jury loved it.
Well, I think this will be more popular with the televoters
I think so.
than Proud was.
And I'm hoping that, you know, they will actually have a name for themselves as well now. And because it's like the Czech Republic kind of seemed to be a bit forgotten about. And then it came 6th with Miklas Joseph, and
Well, that didn't help them last year, did it?
still came higher up than they'd ever done before, previous to Miklas Joseph, though, didn't it? They still
Yes,
got a very
compared
good
to Miklas Joseph.
Okay, so there's a slight flaw in my argument. Let's just move on.
Elliot, help.
Elliot, Michelle says it's the sort of guff that you would like.
She's wrong. It's such a middle of the road song. It has a lot of potential. It's very Russian sounding, actually. It's got that sort of like heavy bass line. It's very Russian pop. He actually sounds a bit like Sergei Lazarev. But I listened to it when it dropped last Sunday, and I haven't listened to it since. There's nothing that makes me want to go back and listen to this song. It's just there. It's just your middle of the road place tester for the semi-final, which is a shame because I actually expected a lot more from Vasil, the way he was hyping it up on social media. Sadly, it's not bad, but it's not great. It's just middle of the road.
Okay, Oban, let's have something positive to say about Vasil and you.
Oh, you got to the wrong guy. I mean, I was about to say, I can bet the 100 euro that I don't have right now, right here, that he is not gonna make it to the final. I'm like, this song, like, the song is good. The song is, I have absolute zero criticism or whatever opinion. It's just enjoyable song, and his voice is good. But the thing is that he is not selling it. He's so pretentious. He's trying to look cool. He's trying to act cool. He's like to, pretending that he has the attitude, and he doesn't. It's awkward when he moves. It's awkward, and I don't feel that he has any feeling, any connection to the song. He just got this song just because he thinks it's gonna be cool, and it is a cool, but it's not for him. So I really don't get it. I highly doubt they will make it to the final.
Oh, do you know what, Ivan? I'm actually quite disappointed. I'm more disappointed you didn't actually really rise to the bait of talking about Vasil and you, but never mind. Let's just move across there. Ian, come on, surely. Do you not sense a bit of Robin from Sweden, Dance You Off kind of vibes mixed in with like the looks of Luca Hani? Surely this works, doesn't it?
I think it does work. It's, as Elliot said, it is quite middle of the road. It's not. There's nothing exceptional about it. It doesn't jump out, but at the same time, it doesn't have a lot of the flaws that quite a lot of the entries of this year. So, but I think he does seem quite aloof from it. I think the live performance could be very critical to this because it's quite a light bit of pop fluff. It's not. It'll need something to catch people's attention in the arena, and that's going to have to come from the live performance. From the video, the dance part of the video initially, that's quite interesting. That kind of almost dual dance between the two is maybe they could do something with that to make it get a bit of drama into it. Otherwise, it's just a little bit radio friendly, middle of the road, pleasant song. You're not going to change the channel if it comes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting a view here. I'm going to go to
Yeah.
Alina.
I like the song. It sticks in my. I know it sticks in my head. I hope it will go to the final, but I don't think so. But I really like the song. I can't help it.
Ah, see, someone with the
Yeah,
positive vibes.
it is a nice song. It's just not an amazing
Yeah.
song.
Quality
Yeah. I
end.
do like it. I do like it.
No, this is true. Now, Stuart, my friend, it's up to you. Come on.
So can we start by talking about the video? My God, did they get someone from Pornhub to write it and come up with the theme of it? I mean, it's a bit sexual, Tom, isn't it? You know, he's kind of sat at the bar, and all of a sudden the girl's looking over, she's giving him a wink. You know, you've got this couple sat down, she's drinking sex on the beach. All of a sudden, she's kind of going a little bit crazy. Out of absolutely nowhere, because the song's quite middle of the road dance, isn't it? I mean, I don't know what that was all about.
He winks at the barman before he does all that.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. He kind of had
That's
to play.
for everybody.
He had to play a role, I think.
He's on the bisexual channel.
Yeah.
Couldn't possibly comment, Andy. That's more your genre. Anyway, back to the song. Compose myself. Yes, this has a very sexual undertone, Tom. I quite like it. It's something about it I find quite endearing. It's a bit of a chill out to it. You definitely can't call it a hashtag banger, but it definitely has got appeal. And he is a good singer, and they've chosen a good act again to follow Tamara this year. Is it going to qualify? Well, that I'm not so sure about. But they've picked someone who sounds a bit like Dima Bilan, which is a nice segue into later on. You've got a decent sound, which will come off well with the right staging in Rotterdam, providing it is Rotterdam. But they do have to think about the staging, and that's absolutely crucial for this to qualify. But I am confident that this is one that will fly under the radar, but will qualify to the final, Tom.
And do you know what, Stu? I am of the same opinion. I reckon this is going to go to the final. I quite like it. I'm catching up with the comments in the chat room. Bain says the staging will be good for sure. Michelle is saying that it's not a qualifier. Don Wigley says he wrote the music video. Not entirely sure on that one. Sergio says he was in the first semi-final. It will not be easy to qualify. Probably have to fight for the 10th position. ESC Philippines says there was more chemistry with the barman than the girl. And if I didn't know better, I'd suggest that came straight from the mouth of Andy Brooke, who has responded by saying, I thought it was going to be a gay plot. And Michelle says, has Stu got a tenor on it? I think he's got a tenor on every song so far, to be fair. So, you know, let's just leave it at that. And guys, let's start to bring this one to a close. Let's find out where we think it's going to place. Andy, where are you going to put this one?
Fifth.
Okay, fifth in the semi-final or fifth in
No,
the final?
fuck off. It's going to surprise everybody. I really like it. No, it probably won't qualify, but it would be fifth if I was in charge.
Okay, Elliot.
There's just not enough impact in the song, and looking using that half, you've got the Mamas, you've got Little Big, you've got the Root. There's so many big songs. It's going to go right before one of them. It's not going to qualify.
Okay, Stuart is dying to join in with the chat.
Definite qualifier, Tom. It's about 8th, 9th or 10th in its semi-final, and I think it'll be between 10 and 15th in the final.
See, now that's where I'd be placing it. Alina, where are you going to put this one?
Around 15.
Okay, 15th for Alina. Oben?
I'm going to be very specific on this one as well. I'm going to say 15, and it's not in the final, but in the semi-final.
Okay, that's very harsh. I think you just found yourself off of Andy's Christmas card list.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, is he not?
No.
Oh.
No, look, I'm pushing 60. No, he's not going to. He's not going to do that. Take a lot more than that.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And Ian, finally from you.
I think it's going to qualify. It may be a bit marginal in the qualification. It'll do. I think it'll do okay. But certainly right side of the table in the final. It just doesn't have that impact.
Could I make one other point, please?
Oh yes, Andy.
We're not going to have preview parties this year for obvious reasons. And the big thing that's going to do is we went to preview parties last year and the year before, and there will be a song that nobody had considered until they saw it live. And then suddenly you'd see the charisma of the singer and the voice of the singer, and a song would go from nowhere to suddenly up in the favourites. That's not going to happen this year because we're just not going to see that. So when we get to the final, I think there's going to be some real shocks. Whether this will be one of them, I'm not sure.
Do you know what? I think you've got an absolutely fantastic point there. I always draw out the comparison of the Netherlands with the Common Linnets in 2014 that I'd written off until I was 5 seconds into their semi-final performance.
Yeah, because they didn't do any preview performances, so nobody had any idea.
Yeah, and that just blew me away, absolutely. And do you know what? I think Macedonia will spring a surprise this year. I'm going to put them mid-table in the final, having got through the final. That's my take on it. People will disagree. Elliot's already doing some deep breathing exercises. But do you know what, guys? I think that is North Macedonia done. Okay, guys, it's the one we've been waiting for. I suspect you've all been waiting for. Russia this year is sending little big. Yes, having had 4 years where we've had Sergei, Julia Samilova, who withdrew, then Julia Samilova, who didn't qualify, then Sergei again. Finally, we have a new artist in Russia. Now, obviously, before we move on to this, we know that Russia has had a very, very, very esteemed history in the Eurovision Song Contest, and I'm not just referring to Stuart dressing up as Alla Pugacheva and singing Prima Donna, but...
Have you got that?
Do you know what? I wish I had thought of that until about now. But if you want to watch that, you can always watch our Retrovision 1997 video after tonight's show. In the meantime, let's look at the best of what Russia's had to offer in years gone by. There we had some fantastic Russian entries. Elliot, your favourite Russian entry of years gone by?
Definitely not Demon Balan. God, the year in 2008 was really strong, and that one. No, honestly, I think my favourites thinking of Russia are 2012 because it was just fun, and I didn't watch anything leading up to 2012, and that just came out of nowhere and just put a smile on my face. And one that doesn't get a lot of love is Marmo in 2009. I loved that, and I really liked what they did with the LED screen as well. I thought that was really quite clever and striking, and that is one of my favourite songs in Eurovision, and not just,
Brilliant. Andy, favourite Russian entry?
Yeah, well, Mama as well is one of mine. Tattoo, brilliant song, absolutely ruined on the night. And Sebreros, Silver from 2007, which sounds a bit like this year's song.
Interesting. Alina?
I would choose A Million Voices and You Are the Only One. But I like Russia on Eurovision, so it's a hard pick for me.
Tough choice. Oben?
I think Sergei was the best thing that Russia had to offer for us, and he failed to deliver twice. I mean, he took part twice, and he didn't take off his shirt. So I'm not gonna vote on this one.
Okay, Ian.
Because Russia's put a lot of really classy stuff in the last few years, but I think I would go for 2013, Potev. That's liked it, and it's one that keeps coming back round for me. It's just, yeah,
Cool.
it's nice.
And Stuart, instead of picking your favourite Russian entry, maybe we could just have a burst.
Are you kidding me? You don't really want me to do that, do you?
Oh, do you know what? I think our ratings would go sky high.
Shit. Okay. So, by the way, I hadn't actually prepared for this, and by the way, I have done a duet with Andy with Tattoo, so we could have done that instead. But there we go. Okay. You ready? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Wait.
Slovna rajina jepčica, Sarajevo salapi, Venatu. I can't remember the lyrics. Vilešti I viju, yeah. Ty plešeš líboj.
Hey! Bravo! And you can also catch that on our Retrovision 1997 video that is on YouTube as well. Speaking of which, Stuart, are we to assume that Alla Pugacheva was your favourite Russian entry of all time?
Yeah, funnily enough. I like Tattoo as well. And I had a weird obsession with Mummy Troll from, what year was that? 2001. And, but honourable mention for Polina from 2015, because I had a bit of a crush on her. I think I still do.
Well, Yerna's in the chat room. She says Stuart Wilder's Sachet Away. I think that's right. And Michelle says my ears are bleeding. Stop. But I'm assuming they're all compliments at heart. Me, do you know what? There's one song that no one's mentioned here. Alsu Solo, the year 2000. Because after they failed to win with Alla Pugacheva in 1997, they took a couple of years off. They burst back on the scene in 2000. In actual fact, that was really the start of their great songs. Alsu obviously hosting the contest in 2009. But if you ever listen to it, it has that fantastic moment where it goes, now I wait, and then it just kicks in with a key change. Oh, amazing. Now, guys, this year, hotly anticipated, they are singing Little Big with the song Uno. Let's take a listen. Oh, so that was the hotly anticipated track. I think everyone was absolutely dying for this one to drop. Little Big debuted on the music scene in 2013. They've had such fantastic albums as Life in the Trash, Lollybomb, and We Will Push the Button. And they've toured Europe, they've toured North America, they've toured Russia, with such a pedigree. Elliot, let's get your view.
They also wanted to go last year, and the broadcaster dropped them for Sergey. And I think what a mistake that was, because this is brilliant. You know, it's traditionally them. You know, it's exactly what they normally do. Concept-wise, it's a bit weird because obviously you've got those two that look a bit like Aqua and Toybox. You then got like Peter Schmeichel on the backing vocals as well, which is a bit odd. But it all works in its own bizarre, wonderful way. I think this is just, they know who they are and they know what works. And, you know, it's a song you're either going to love or hate, but I love it. There's just something about it. I just don't know what it is. I just love it. And plus, it's a great song to practice just counting in Spanish too. So, you know, they're very aware of what they're doing, and they do it at an 11, and I think it's brilliant.
Okay. Andy, Uno.
Well, I like it. I like it a lot. I really like it. But I don't know why it's so popular when the last time this song was in the contest, it was absolutely traduced with uno, a bricky dance, dos, a crusolato, tres, a macchiato, cuatro, a robocop. Because it is basically the same sort of song. I liked El Chiqui Chiqui, and I like this as well.
Okay. I'm liking this. Really good, positive vibes, getting it from everyone. Alina.
I like it. It's amazing. The dance moves are so catchy and it sticks in your head like hours later. So I think this will go very well.
Okay, it's funny you say about the dance moves being catchy. We may have something coming up very special for you to look at. Maybe some dance moves in a bit.
Is that power to all our friends?
Oh, well, do you know
Oh,
what?
sorry.
I thought I'd just channel my inner Cliff Richard. Said no one ever. Now, Oban, Uno.
I think I'm gonna break this track here, but it's a nice song. It's a cute song. It's a fun song. It's gonna lift the energy up in the arena when it's gonna follow and very slow ballads. So it's gonna energize us. But at the end of the day, we need to face the fact that this song is not a jury-friendly song. And I think in a year where Iceland is filling the quota of taking all the attention from a geeky, nerdy group, which is having fun, votes. So I think they're gonna struggle to get. They're not gonna struggle. Of course, it's Russia. They're not gonna struggle to get to the final, but they're gonna struggle to get a good result in top 10.
Oh, controversial. Let's see if this is added to by Ian's view.
Probably similar to Open. I think the other quirky novelty ones this year are simply just much better songs. Musically, Iceland and the Roop, these are better songs. This one's very silly. It's very fun. It has the return of the Bulgarian knee dance from 2016. It's very silly. It's fun. People will like it. But the other two sort of novelty, quirky ones, they're just better, I think. And I think what has been said about the juries, I think the juries will hate this. And that is probably going to kill it.
Interesting take.
That you need to succeed on both sides. And musically,
Why?
I don't think
Do you not think the juries have got a sense of humour?
It depends what the juries are looking for, and I think it's probably just a bit too silly for.
I mean, they do. They made Neta winner. That's something we know. One joke acted won recently.
Yeah. Also,
it's going to depend on how people are feeling at the time. You know, if they'll either be looking to be taken out of themselves with a really fun song, in which case, if this is performed well, it'll do extremely well, or they might go the other way and want something that's really nostalgic and sad because of, you know, the climate we're in. You just can't tell.
It's an interesting take, isn't it? And I'm going to go to Stuart, who seems to be drastically trying to take things to himself. But at the moment, I mean, Michelle suggested, were you trying to tape your gob up? But I think you just...
Never noticed how big his nose was.
That's true. Stuart, give your view on Russia.
So this is going to win Eurovision, Tom, and here's why. In 2 days, just 2 days, this had 20 million views on YouTube. To put that into context, Sergei got 4.4 million views last year in the entire stretch of Eurovision from the song being released until today. 20 million views. And to put into a bit more context, not just 20 million views and a bunch of dislikes, 1.1 million likes and 83,000 dislikes. So we are talking huge numbers. These guys are renowned for those who are into the whole YouTube generation. So, you know, we're probably talking about the younger generation. Sorry to be ageist, but we are. But I'm with Andy. The juries have a sense of humor, and a lot of them now are of a younger generation too. This will comfortably qualify. It's better than Lithuania. It's better than Iceland. Sorry, all the haters. That's the reality of it. And this will comfortably qualify and finish as a winner of Eurovision by some distance. And fuck off, Martin.
For those people that are listening on the podcast, Martin Palmer, that's put the kibosh on Uno. Then Stuart thinks it's going to win.
But just one more point as well. Someone said that there's a really good way. Elliot might have said it's a really good way to count in Spanish. Only if you want to be a complete fucking idiot. It starts with uno, dos, cuatro. It's missed out tres. Don't fucking learn from the Russians. That's what I would say.
Very true, very true. One thing I would say is 20 million likes. Yes, it's impressive, but they have a massive following in Russia, and the population's 145 million in Russia. So if they were all Russians, they can't vote for their own song. But
What about Sergei? What about Sergei?
Did you look that up earlier on?
I
145 million.
I might have.
Is it because I did? Don't know why, but I did.
There we go. I think it's an interesting take. Personally, I think it's a lot of fun. The only concern I have is that this song kind of drills into my head the same way that Netta's Toy did. And unfortunately, after a while, Netta's Toy, I still have nightmares about. Because it just has a specific tonality in the music that just kind of hits that spot where I'm just like, turn it off. But I am sure I will be swept up in the fun partiness that is Uno. Now, guys, whilst we are thinking of Uno, do we think it is going to finish as Premier Uno? Andy, is this the winner?
Wait, I have no idea, but it definitely could be.
Okay, definitely maybe from Andy. Elliot, is this the winner?
I feel like this is going to have a similar track that Kaino did. And obviously, Kaino came 18th in the jury, and everyone said that was going to win. And it still managed to get 6th because of the televote. So I think it will easily qualify. It will still get top 10, maybe top 5, but it will slightly fall in the jury. But, you know, like I said, they know, like, Netta was a lot of fun, but with a decent singer. These guys can actually sing. It's not like it's a joke act who've got poor vocals. This lot can sing and keep up with it. It's difficult to move your, like, even though it's a simple dance, that takes a lot of core strength and stamina to do that for 3 minutes. So, like I said, people will appreciate what they're doing. It will do better than Iceland and Lithuania. And yeah, I think between 5th and 10th is where I think it will happen, but mainly on the televote.
Okay, I think if they nail the live vocals, I think they're in for a chance of winning. Alina, where do you position Uno?
I could see it in the top 5, because I think there will be some dark horses going to aim for number 1. But yeah, we will see.
Okay, Oben, Uno.
Tom, I'm gonna go make a wild guess here as well. I'm gonna say that Russia will finish on the bottom of the left-hand side of the scoreboard in the final, right after Cyprus.
Still putting Cyprus higher. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Cyprus?
Ian, where are we placing Uno?
I think it could go one of two ways. It could either do really well, up there, maybe top 5, or it will crash and burn horribly. It's so weird. It's so out there. If it doesn't catch the public's imagination, it will just be horribly. But my suspicion is it'll do well.
Okay, so we've got some real votes of confidence. And Stuart, Michelle thinks you're slowly having a breakdown.
Slowly.
I think it's accelerated slightly. Are we to assume, Stuart, that you think this is the winner of Eurovision 2020?
Yeah, at the moment, I don't think anything's beating this. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Russia have waited to the very last minute, and if you're writing this off, then I'm sorry you don't know Eurovision. Don't be so bloody naive. This is a born winner, and this is going. If it doesn't win, it'll be top 3, no question.
And wouldn't it be bad luck if, like Liverpool, who are on the verge of winning the Premier League for the first time in 30 years, and now it looks like it's going to be suspended, that Russia, who seem to be honest, have spent the last 5 years really wanting to win the contest, thwarted by current events. Elliot, you have a point to make.
I just want to say it's just Stuart playing the crowd again because he knows that Little Big have a massive audience that will watch this because every single thing mentioned with Little Big in the title has got a lot of views on it. And I also mentioned he's mentioned at least 2 other countries to me saying will definitely win. So he's definitely playing his cards very carefully at the minute.
Oh, we know that.
You're right. Piss off, Elliot. Bye.
But
We've got 10 quid on every country to win. We know this.
If Russia don't win, having tried so hard, I mean, one might say that they're just deserved, considering how many other elections they've tried to fiddle in recent years. Would that be a controversial thing to say? Do we have millions of viewers
No.
for
Well,
saying that?
Let's be perfectly honest. You know,
We haven't
Eurovision
got
Song
any
Contest
Russian
has-
viewers.
but also the Eurovision Song Contest has never shied away from political controversies.
Never, no.
And let's face it, neither did Russia in 2017. So you know. Now, I do believe, guys, that having seen what I think could really, really be the winner of Eurovision 2020, best of luck to Little Big, by the way. And Stuart, have you got a final point to make on this one? Because you're waving your hand.
I have, Tom. Sorry. Before we close on Russia, what about that thing? You know, the thing,
yes.
the thing.
Yes, the thing. Yes, before we close on Russia, and just to prove how much we do love Russia here at ESC Fan TV, one of our panelists, Ian, not Ian as in Ian from Scotland, but Ian from the Philippines, has given us this.
All you have to do is to be ready for some action now.
Oh, easy to move. Easy to do dance moves. Big thanks to Ian.
Cliff
doing
Richard
that.
would be proud.
And you know what, guys? I think on that note, we can officially say that Russia is done. And so brings to an end tonight's trek through 3 of this year's fantastic entries. There is more to come. ESC Fan TV will return Thursday night, 8 p.m. GMT, 9 p.m. Central European Time. We are looking forward to seeing all of you there. In the meantime, don't forget to catch up on YouTube. Don't forget to check out our Facebook channel, Instagram. We are everywhere. Okay, you cannot escape.
Everywhere, nowhere,
And there is so much for you to catch up on. So if you're sat at home and you're thinking, oh my goodness, you know, what can I do? Could I make a suggestion? We've got some fantastic Retrovision shows out there. And if you're stuck at home this week, maybe put on 1997, then watch the Retrovision show. We've also got, hosted by Andy, we've got Retrovision 63 and 69 on YouTube as well, along with 1976, and I'm sure there's a 5th one around somewhere, but I can't.
There's one coming up.
But there is one coming up.
Week on Friday.
A week on Friday. We'd ask all ESC Fan TV people if you want to participate in it. It's Retrovision 1991. Brush up on your knowledge of Carola's second venture into the Eurovision stage, and watch what happens. No spoilers here. In the meantime, I'd like to say a massive thank you to my panel. A big thanks to Oban.
Good evening, everyone.
A big thanks to Alina.
Thanks for having me.
Big thanks to Ian.
Thanks for having me back. It's been good.
Big thanks to Elliot.
Thank you for this mad hour, and good luck, Gustav, editing this into the podcast, is all I'm going to say.
And already you've provided him with editing to do. Big thanks to Andy.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. And thank you to everybody in the chat room. Especially those that were slagging me off. I'll get you back one day.
One day soon, no doubt. And as always, a big thanks to my co-host, Stuart.
Thanks, Tom. Been fun. Can't wait for next week.
I can't wait for next week either. You never know, Laurel Barker may even turn up. Anyway, that's all for now, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.